Good morning, world. And I hope all the mamas out there had a great Mother's Day. I know that there's so many mixed emotions about Mother's Day, whether you have a really strong relationship with your mom or you're working on it, or maybe you want to become a mom, you're a stepmom, or you just love being a mom. There are so many different ways about it. And I just want to acknowledge you all for taking on the biggest role in the world without any sort of manual or how to really. And all the how to's across the timeless of time have been bunked or debunked. So happy Mother's Day. Deb, how was your Mother's Day?
I had an amazing weekend. I spent Saturday with my mom and my sister and brother-in-law. My nieces came over to their house too. So nothing like crazy special, but I think it's in those little moments of just sitting on the deck in the sun, having a glass of wine, playing a game of cards. And I just had like a really incredible day with my mom. And it's not like we did anything crazy special, but it was time together. And so that was really nice. And then yesterday, my daughter was working. So she sent me a beautiful bouquet and we're going for lunch today. And then I went golfing with my boys and they bought me lunch and they gave me the most incredible gift, and it's this book, and it's for me to fill out. It's all about me. It's all about my childhood, all about raising my kids and those special memories. So it's going to give me a lot to think about as I fill it out, but I think that's something like I would like to do with my parents, like what was your childhood like? And it's kind of those stories that you kind of hear along the way, but to actually have it in a book form, I think would be really, really neat. What about you? How was your Mother's Day weekend? You're a mom to a puppy, and I know your partner has kids. So I don't think anything is lost in the fact that you are also just as much of a mother as anybody else.
Well, to be honest, it wasn't really acknowledged, so let's not talk about that.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, so in some people's world, I'm not a mom, and that's okay. It's just something you have to work through. But for my mom, it was really great. We got to have s'mores with her grandson. I was babysitting my nephew. So that was really cool. We had s'mores on the Saturday and invited my parents over. So we had a really great time. And then we had breakfast on Sunday morning with my sister-in-law and my mom. So it was cool. Even Hayden was so excited. He wanted to go into all the stores, and we were in Goderich, Ontario, and there are barely any stores open on Sundays. So if you're looking for Mother's Day, plan ahead. Though it was really sweet. He's 5 and he wanted to get them something extra special. So we found a flower shop and got a candle and a little plant and brought that to the restaurant. So it was just lovely spending time and just wishing my friends and just different people that have acted like a mom in my life and acknowledging them. And I think that's, like you say, sometimes it's not in these big moments, but it's just being acknowledged for taking on roles that are sometimes tough or you don't know how to manage, and just acknowledging that they exist. So that was cool. And yeah, just like moving through life. I think that there is a lot of growth for me yesterday. So I'm going to work through that this week, which is exciting. And yeah, it's another beautiful week in this world. I am working hard with my coach on not saying stupid shit out loud. So it's been
like what?
like anything stupid, like,
oh,
I
gosh.
can't do this, or this is whatever. Like,
so like defeating statements. Okay.
Yeah. So it's
Interesting. I
been
don't think I've ever
interesting.
heard you like, I don't know, anytime we've talked, I've never really heard you have any self-defeating ideas, but I'm gonna
They
pay
exist.
attention.
Yeah, they exist in my mind for sure. And I'm usually pretty aware of what I shoot out of my mouth unless I'm really angry, because I know like thoughts are things, or words have power. So
Mhm.
it's been an extra highlighting exercise of maybe sometimes I don't say things out loud, but what are the 60 to 80,000 thoughts running through my mind and constant narratives? So taking that in the back seat. So it's been really interesting,
I
even
love that.
at like another level up in the self-awareness game.
Yeah, I think you and I have talked in the last couple of weeks. We've talked about the energy of the different moon cycles, and I think I've mentioned to you I'm in this space of creating space, or really just reevaluating where I want to go and what needs to fall away so I can make that happen. So I think this week for me, it's all about focus and alignment and really getting clear on how I need to show up differently, what I'm shooting for. I'm going to be working with the same coaches you at some point. So getting really clear on like that big vision and creating that space for it. So every time I've been walking into my closet, I take something out that I don't wear. So I'm creating space there. I've also really walked away, or not walked away, I shouldn't say it like that, but I'm really like on the down low. I'm not going out right now, and just like reevaluating who I want to be. So I'm just taking time to get really focused and clear. So that's kind of my role for this week, and really planning and time management of what I want the next few months to look like. So I'm excited for that too. And the nice weather has definitely, I don't know, given me a little boost in my step too. This weekend was beautiful, and just being outside, and I don't know, I just like, I'm feeling energized and getting ready for stuff. So
time in nature, and it allows that time to reflect, especially if you're outside. It takes away from like the busy noise of like, even if you're watching this, like there's perspectives, there's things that you can relate to, maybe you're not relating to, and we're taking everything in. So when we have that chance in nature, it allows us just to decompress and be with ourselves without the distractions, without the noise, without projections that are coming around. And projections are everywhere. I'm not as bothered, I think, as some people, but in my human design, I'm one of the most projected on people. So I think maybe I've learned to take things differently, though. When you're saying that new cycle of yourself, and what does that look like? There's a lot of power and stillness of being, of dreaming. And nature, it just is the greatest gift of ours to take in, especially in your area. There's so many beautiful spots.
absolutely. I on that note, I was listening to Mel Robbins. I don't know, maybe you saw it yesterday. I know my girlfriend, we were just talking about, releasing judgment, not only from ourselves though, but from the expectations of other people. Instead of like me expecting you to react in a certain way, just to allow that space for you just to be. And I think that was her message: let them be. And then you get the opportunity, if somebody doesn't show up the way that you maybe thought that they should, then you get that opportunity to gain clarity in that situation, and to maybe release judgment from them, but you get to make a decision then. You don't have to, do you know what I mean? And I was like, that is so good, because I think I might choose a different stance in a situation that you might come at it from a very different perspective, and nothing is right or wrong. And I think that's when we lose the expectation of others, then we allow space just to let people be. And if it doesn't resonate with you anymore, then you get that decision to be clear on, maybe you need to let people go.
Yeah, 100%. And it's allowing people to live their life path. There's been so many times, and it's like, I find it too, and especially when you really care about someone and watching them go through something tough, and you just want to like tell them everything, or this is it, or like, why aren't you doing this? And that's their own life lesson to live, because our subconscious is very powerful. And if that's what they've attracted, maybe there's something healing and growing in there. So to clip the wings of that butterfly, it is a lot of like letting go. And if people are looking for perspective, we'll definitely ask for it. So there's so much goodness in here, so much goodness.
Well, I hope there's been some tidbits of inspiration, maybe a different perspective. Maybe you're going to look at something differently. Maybe you're going to let some things go and create space for yourself this week. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. We will be back on Thursday with an episode of Connected Conversations. Have a great